Hi guys, I am going to do a mermaid today. She has been in the vault for a while and I'm going to go ahead and bring her out just for this tutorial. And I will put the link down at the bottom where you can get her. Everyone was asking for scales, mermaids, wings, so I thought a mermaid we can actually kind of kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to do the scales and then the fins can actually, the technique I do for the fins is the same as I do for wings. So this will hopefully help both, like I said, kill two birds with one stone. So I'm going to start with my skin as usual. And the first one I apply is E21. I am not sure what is going on with my markers lately, but they are just getting really gross and bad and just kind of leaky, if you can see that. It's kind of losing color there. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'll take the other end off and sometimes that helps it. Okay, so I'm going to continue here with my E21. I'm sorry if I'm really quiet today. I'm kind of lagging. I'm very tired. I went to bed really late last night, as many of you saw. And again, up by 6 a.m., so I'm a little tired. I usually have music in the background, but unfortunately I found out recently that one of my video tutorials to my coloring guide was blocked, or they removed the sound because I had music in the background. So I think it's best if I just talk to you guys. Okay, next I'm going to do my E11. And like I said, I don't know what is going on with my markers lately, but they're just not working right. They're drying out or something. I'm not sure what it is. They're working properly, it looks like, but for some reason the tips or the nibs are looking kind of dry to me. I just refilled them, so they can't be dry. I'm going to go over everything again with E21. And bring out that E11 a little bit, just kind of merge them together. little more E11. Again, usually I don't go over them as much, but like I said, just recently I've, you know, switched out the nibs on all of them, on all my skin colors, and juiced them up, and they're kind of lighter than I'm used to. Usually I work them so much that they start to get a little bit darker than what they originally should be. So I'm going to have to work a little extra hard here to achieve the skin tones that I want, the shading and all that. Alright, now with my E51 I'm going to go ahead and mesh all those colors together and start filling in all my white areas. And I do go over all of those colors with my E51, just because I feel that they give it, they help it mesh and merge and kind of create that skin tone I want. I missed a couple spots on her breast, so I'm gonna E21, create a little bit of shadow. Then my E11. Back with the E21, I just want to merge those colors. Make sure I don't have any harsh lines that make it look streaky. I want a smooth gradient. I'm going over certain areas with my E51, which is the lightest areas. I'm going to try not to touch the other colors anymore. Okay. Now with my E04, I'm going to create a couple of outlines where I feel that, you know, we would see the most shadowy areas. My markers are just not playing nice today. They're just kind of leaking everywhere and stuff, but it's not so bad that I have to restart the video. So that's a good thing. It's always a good thing, right? And I'm sorry if I don't sound as chipper as I usually do. I'm, like I said, still getting over that flu, and I didn't get much sleep last night, so I'm not 100% today. And then I'm broken because I can't draw anymore, so that's always a bummer, right? Okay, so my skin is done for now. I'm going to go back into the skin a little bit later, but let's kind of move on here. Let's do her tail. Or, yeah, I guess her tail, because those would be fins. So I'm going to go with the green. for her, for her colors. I'm going to start with my YG21. I'm going to cover the entire area. And this one actually is one of my favorite techniques. Techniques because it, for me, it seems to go by really fast, and yet you get a really nice outcome when you do the scales. Really simple too. You'll see how simple it is, and once you do it, you'll have lots of fun with it. Okay. So next I'm going to start my dots. I'm going to start with YG23. Here it is. Here we go. And basically you're just making dots here and there where you would have the most shading, the most shaded areas. Just little dots here and there, depending on how you hold your pen is going to give you the difference in dots. If you hold it, hold it sideways, you're going to get a thicker, more teardrop type of dot. If you hold it more upright, then you'll get a thinner, smaller, more circular dot. But you can also achieve that just by holding it straight up, and just, depending on how much pressure you put on it, will be the sizes of your dots. So I'm just going over a few areas here. And I'm going to add some to her skin. Just where her scales are. It doesn't have to be a whole lot. Put them on her face if you want. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with my YG21, and I'm going to do this every step. When I apply a color, I will go back in and dot over those dots with the previous color. Why? Because it spreads the colors around and makes it look just a little bit more natural instead of just polka dots everywhere. And then of course I hadn't added any onto her skin, and now I want to, so going into her skin with it. This is again the YG21. And then I did YG23, so the next color I'm going to apply is YG25. And again, more dots, this time less than I did with the YG23. Okay, back in with the YG21, just to spread that YG25 around. You really want to dab at it too, so that it really does create the spread and more of a texture instead of just, polka dots everywhere. Okay. Next I'm going to do YG67, and that's going to probably be my last color for the scales. You want to be very sporadic with them. And of course, back with the YG21. Start spreading those colors around, moving them about. And so basically that's her tail and scales. Really, really simple and easy, right? And you can add as many colors as you want. You don't have to stick to the greens either. I suggest you find your own colors just for fun. You know, play around with different colors. Okay, now let's do the fin. What color do I want to do? Let's see. I think we're going to go with some pinks for her fin. So I'm going to start with RV02 if I can find it. There it is. Okay, so for fins, I start like I do my hair, just long streaks. Fins and wings. And I start with my lightest color as usual. And in this case, it's going to be my RV02. And just long, thick streaks to begin with. When I say thick, it means that I'm letting the sides of the nibs touch more than just the tip. Just to give it a little bit more coverage than I normally would like to when I'm doing hair. And again, just with the lightest color. There we go. Okay. Now, next is going to be RV04. So basically, if you are paying attention and you're noticing, it's almost like when I do with, you know, my hair. Only with the fins and wings, you want to do more sporadic lines, more spread out. You don't want them as tight, meshed in as you do with your hair. Because you want to kind of give it a feeling of see-through almost. And if you notice, I did leave a lot of that top part empty, untouched, and it's for a reason. We're going to do the two-tone coloring like I did with my fairy. And it's basically the exact same thing I'm doing now, only with a different color. So very simple and fun techniques. Okay, that was RV04. I'm going to go in with my RV06 now. Very loose lines, not at all together, not as much. Okay, for my last color I'm going to go in, I'm going to go deep, like a RV09. I'm going to skip, well, not skip anything because there aren't any colors after that, but this RV09 should be pretty deep, pretty dark. Again, very little lines with my RV9. Almost like one line per section. Okay. So that's pretty much it for that part of it. Now, the top part, I'm going to go in with a lighter color. I'm going to try my V's. V01. You're going to want to take your marker and make sure that it touches the RVs. This is where you're going to start merging and meshing those colors, and they're going to start meeting up to give it that nice subtle gradient look. I guess this is what I describe when I say gradient look. It's my way of describing when the colors they start to touch one another, but it makes it look like they're turning, like the pink is turning purple, instead of just having like a streak of line that, or a streak of color that ends here and then a streak of color that ends there. This kind of makes it, it kind of helps it look like it's like I mentioned before, turning color instead of just, you know, wild streaks. And I'm going outside of the line here like crazy. I am very sorry, but I'm just not rushing. I'm just not paying attention, I guess. And sometimes, you know, when I'm doing these streaks, I do go out of the line quite a bit. I'll fix it later by either cutting it off or, you know, using the colorless blender or the Copic white. I love that thing for fixing mistakes. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with my V04 and do the same thing, just, you know, more spread out lines here and there. Or at least I'm trying, and it's just not working for me today. My markers are really bad. I am not sure what is going on with them. I've sat here and I've cleaned a lot of them, especially the ones that I've been using over the weekend, and it just seems to keep on drying on me. Perhaps it's, you know, where I have them sitting or stored. They're right on my desktop, but unfortunately there is a heater vent right underneath it, so it could be my fault. This V04 is really suffering, and I just juiced it up this weekend. But like I said, it must be that heater. So unfortunately, it's not producing the best work out of me here. I am sorry. But now it is completely dried out and I'm not understanding. Like I said, if I just juiced it up. See, that completely dried it out, and I'm not sure why it would do that. The cap is on correctly. Everything seems to be okay, so I'm not sure. I'll have to juice it up again. Okay. Okay. This isn't working, ladies. I'm so sorry. We're going to move on to the next color. I'm going to add V06 on there. And hopefully it will correct the problem and not make it look so bad. There we go, it's coming along. And sometimes by some happy mistake or, you know, error like the one that just happened that the marker is juicing up, it actually does give it a different look, which isn't bad. It's light and feathery. Light and gradiently something. So as you can see, basically with my wings and my fins, it's very simple to, you know, do the gradient coloring from one tone to the next with long streaks or easy long strokes. And when I'm doing the last color, which I am right now, which is the V06, I will start to make those streaks a little bit longer here and there. Have them start touching the pink where before I wasn't. Just kind of makes it look more natural. There we go. That's her fins, her skin, her scales all done. So I won't keep you guys too long with the hair. I'm not going to work on the hair just because I'm afraid that all my markers are starting to dry out and I think I need to figure out what's wrong with them. So I'm going to leave you guys here. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I'm really sorry if I'm just kind of sounding down and a little out of it. I am a little out of it, but I really wanted to do this for you guys. So I hope you enjoy, and I will, like I said, leave a link. Or there is a link below to where you can pick her up, and I'm going to put her up for just $2 for, you know, the rest of the week until the weekend, so you guys can work with her. Or you can use, again, the same technique on the fairies if you purchased the fairies recently. But I know that the scales was something that everybody was kind of wondering or hoping for, so there it is. Thanks, guys.